Hi, Dr. Marcia Sirota here with the last of our Summer of Self-Care videos. And today I want to talk about healthy communication in your close relationships. And this is very important because you want your relationships to be as positive as possible, and communication helps you get your needs met and also helps you prevent having things happen that don't work for you. So I'm going to talk about three things today. I'm going to talk about how to say a proper no, I'm going to talk about how to ask for what you want, and I'm going to talk about how to express your displeasure. So first of all, when we want to say no, a lot of people have a hard time with that because they feel like it's rude to say no or it's hurtful to say no. But it's not. It's just a matter of expressing how you feel and saying that this thing is not something that you want. And reasonable, kind, caring people are going to be okay if you say no. People who respect you are going to be fine with your no. And people who don't respect you, well, they're going to show who they are, and that will give you a lot of information about the people in your life. So how to say a proper no. I'm going to give you two examples of the wrong way to say no first. First of all, one of my patients was having, her family was moving and they wanted her to help, but her family is very hurtful to her and they are only calling her when they want something from her and they never want to do anything for her. So she's trying to make some separation from them, and so when they called her to say, we want you to help us move, she said, I can't because I'm too busy. That's not a proper no, because what she's really saying is, if the circumstances were to change, I would change my no to a yes. So it's not a really no, it's a maybe. So what she needed to say to make a proper no would be to say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And you know, of course, she was going to risk the people getting angry. But what you need to understand is you're allowed to say no, and if the other person doesn't like it, it's not your problem, it's their problem. Because like I said, reasonable, respectful people will be okay with you saying no. And unreasonable, disrespectful people will get angry if you say no, but then they're just showing you their true colors, and that just confirms that you don't really want to be in a close relationship with them. Also, you need to know that if you do say no and people push you or pressure you or try to coerce you, these are not people you want to have in your life. Now, of course, if you're afraid of somebody, in any of these communications, if you're afraid of somebody, if you're afraid to ask for what you want or express your displeasure or say no because you're afraid they're going to hurt you, this is not a person you should have in your life at all, not whatsoever, like not in your life. So anyone who you're fearful of, you should not be associating with under any circumstances. So here's another poor example of a no that's not a proper no. So another of my patients, someone was asking her on a date and they said, hey, you want to go out? And she said, I'm sorry, I don't have time. And what this no is, it's really a no under the circumstances, again, because she's saying that, if I had time, I might go out with you. So that's not a proper no, because then the person will say, well, okay, well, do you have time next week or the week after? The way to say a proper no in this circumstance is to say, listen, I'm not interested in going out with you. Sorry, and that's an honest but not hurtful way of saying no, and it's better because this person should know she's not interested, and that's the end, and they don't have to ask her again. Because if she says, I don't have the time, she's saying, keep trying. And if you want to say no, you don't want the person to keep trying because you want them to know that you don't want something and you don't want them to keep asking. So the only way they can stop asking is if you've said the proper no. Now, if they keep asking when you have said, I'm not interested, this is a person who is disrespectful and unreasonable and a person that you should not be associating with. So how they deal with your no tells you so much valuable information about who they are and whether or not you want to be associated with this person. The next part is how to ask for what you want. So when you're asking for what you want to keep it clear, and you want to use one thing at a time so the other person doesn't get confused. You don't want to ask for two things because the person might forget one of the two. So just ask for one thing at a time. For example, if you are, if you have a friend who's constantly late, you can say, hey, I would really like it if you were to come on time in the future. It would mean a lot to me. And then you wait and see how the person responds. If the person says, oh, that's fine, I'm happy to do that. I'm sorry that, I was doing something that bothered you, I didn't realize. Then you're good. You know that this person is reasonable and that you can negotiate with them in good faith. But if they get defensive, well, I'm not that late, or if they say, oh, you're, making a mountain out of a molehill, if they minimize your experience, or if they tell you that you're hurting them, you're attacking them by expressing your feelings and your needs, this is not a person for you. You're never going to be able to get your needs met in this relationship, and you might as well walk away now. So in order to ask for what you want really well and make it really clear that you've done it correctly, is don't start it with a negative. Don't say, you're never on time, you're always late, It's, I just want you to come on time finally. Because the person will feel attacked, they'll go on the defensive, and it's more likely that they will say no only because you've hurt their feelings. So you don't want to undermine getting your needs met, and you don't want to feel like maybe you delivered your request poorly, and that's why the person is saying no. So you want to deliver your request in the clearest and most pleasant way possible to ensure that the person is not going to be put on the defensive, and then if they have a bad response, you'll know that it's not because of the way you delivered the message. Finally, I want to talk about how to express your displeasure. When you are expressing your displeasure, again, you don't want to start with a negative, you never do that, you always do that, you're such a jerk. No, because again, you're not going to get a good result. The person's going to go on the defensive, they're going to get upset or angry, they're unlikely to give you what you want. So when you express your displeasure, keep it neutral, but keep it clear, because the person needs to understand what you're saying, otherwise they will not be able to give you what you want. So if you say, I really don't like it when you smoke in the car when we're driving. I told you that the smell of smoke really bothers me, and when you smoke in the car when we're driving, it feels really hurtful because you're disrespecting me and you're making, you're jeopardizing my health as well as yours. So I really would like you to stop doing that. It really bothers me. That's the way to say, this is what I feel and this is what, I don't like about what you did. And because when you tell somebody, I don't like something, when you express your displeasure, obviously that's a very scary thing because the person might get angry. But anybody who gets angry when you express your displeasure in that kind of clear and polite way is a person who's unreasonable. So if you can express your no clearly as a proper no, if you can ask for what you want in a positive and clear way, and if you can express your displeasure in a positive and clear way, then you will find out very quickly who is the person that you want to be in a relationship with, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, and who is a person that is best to walk away from. So Marcia signing out, my last Summer of Self-Care video. Wow, the summer went fast, even though it was a crazy COVID summer. And stay tuned for more of moving into autumn with self-care, with some other tips and tricks on how to have a great, positive fall moving forward. Talk to you soon.